Alright guys, Kyle just headed home. He's done for the night. I'm finishing up the last couple of things real quick. Then I'm gonna clean up and get back to bed myself. I got the chase bays, upper thermostat housing, and the up pipe for that. They had sent me the small one. Finally got the large one. But all that is on and together. Kyle got all this together. Got the support back on for the manifold. So yeah, we got the fuel rail all on today. All the intake, all the exhaust. Oh, I also put these new breather holes in, and I started all the bolts for the valve covers, but I need to finish going around tightening them. Yeah, other than that, that's kind of it. All right, everybody. I'm not very good at recording. I keep forgetting. I'm trying to be better on it and trying to keep you guys updated. Trying to take you guys along with the process. So I got the front of the clear cover. I left the protective tape on there for now while we do the rest of the fabrication. We'll see the pretty stuff later. I got the clutch lines sorted for the bleeder. I got that up on a mount, and then ran the clutch line inside the car to take it over to the driver's side of the car, but that can be done inside and not in the hot ass engine bay to try and help the fluid a little bit. So I still need to figure out if I'm using these brake lines or if I'm going to end up making new ones. So these are just kind of here right now. I can delete this. I'm going to take this out as well. Same thing with the fuel filter down here and that whole line, because we have the radium fuel cell and we're going to be running all AN lines. So all this stuff can be removed. I just don't know if I need this brake line yet or not, but I need to mount one more P-clamp underneath these mounts once I figure all that situation out. Other than that, I've been working on trying to figure out where everything is going to go in the engine bay, trying to get everything mounted and be able to start the car / run the car before we paint it or anything like that. So I kind of want to get the entire car together, get it moving and running, and then take the entire thing apart, paint it, put it all back together, rip it when it's pretty. So I'm trying to figure out where everything's going to get mounted. The thing is we have a lot. So we have our Haltech flex fuel sensor, and I just got done cutting the nubs off of it. With the new radium split flow flex fuel sensor adapter, it can read your ethanol content on the upstream side of the manifold, so on the feed of the fuel rail. So to make the GM style flex fuel sensors fit, you have to cut off these nubs and then deburr and clean up the ends of the flex fuel sensor here. So I just cut those with a cutoff wheel. I don't know if it's Haltech or GM, but there is actually little markings. I believe it was 3 3/4, 3.75 is the distance you need here from end to end, and it has to be even. So now we're gonna go through and assemble the split flow flex fuel adapter kit, and then I need to find where it's gonna mount next to the catch cans, next to the, forget what this is called, and the fuel pressure regulator. So I got to get all that situated in this pocket, and also leaving space for all the fuel lines and to be able to empty the catch cans, because the bottom of the catch cans actually screw off. This is a separate assembly right here. You just screw it off to drain it, or they have these bottom drains and you can drain them from there as well. So I'm gonna try and figure it out and see what I can fit and what I can't fit. So all right, everyone, good afternoon. It's a bright blue sky Pacific Northwest day. It's actually quite nice outside. Wow, you can see how fucking white I am. Nice beautiful skies out today, and we're working back on the RX7, so it's time to get cracking. But today I'm kind of overworking on the engine bay. I'm bored of it right now, and a lot of the things I need to do I need an extra hand with. So Kyle will be here in a couple of hours and we'll get knocking back on that. But while I wait, I figured I can start taking apart some of the stuff in the underside of the car. So if we fucking crawl down here, we can see that we got all this heat shielding. I've already started removing bolts. I remembered to record, so I'm trying to do better at that. But got this all set up. Started ripping down some bolts. I gotta take off the heat shield all the way around. There's a couple of bolts up there and up there, and then just a couple around the surrounds, and then the whole heat shield will come out. The other thing I gotta do is I gotta drain this gas tank, which there's a drain right here, and then I need to drop this entire tank because the rear half of this car is getting cut out, and the fuel cell that's up there in the corner is going to get mounted back here. So I got to get all this stuff out of our way. So first step is just unbolting shit and drain the tank. All right, so we got a 5-gallon bucket, do it underneath it, and I just cracked that bolt loose. So it is time to undo the bolt fully. You can see it's already dripping. There we go. Simple as that. So I'm gonna let that tank drain and start dropping it. All right, tank is all empty. We drained just about 4.5 gallons or so of fuel there. So, but the tank is all the way empty, so that's good news. I'm going to put this gas somewhere safe and then unbolt the tank. Drop that bitch out of there. Tank is ready to fall out right now. Come up to the top, take off the for the inspection cover, remove the filler neck and the breather hose, and then come onto this side, remove your electrical connector, also the 4 bolts for the inspection cover, but remove your electrical connector, remove your feed lines, and this I'm gonna have to get once I drop the tank. Came down underneath, and there is 2 14mm bolts that hold your straps on, that hold them way up in there in that dark hole, but you just back them out with an impact and then the tank comes loose, and then I'm just going to slowly lower the tank on the jack and it should come out. Junk. All right. With the gas tank out, coming to remove the filler neck, we have what looks to be 4 8mm or Phillips if you want to use a Phillips, but just use the 8mm. We have 1 10mm here, which runs a ground of some sort. Just sits to here. So remove there, and then underneath we have one more 10 millimeter right here. So back those out and filler neck should be out. Looks like there is also two 10 millimeter nuts on either side of this neck back here. Cool. Well, the filler neck is all out. Have it there disassembled on the ground. I did have to disconnect this crossover pipe from the actual filler neck itself. The hole in the frame right here is not big enough to pass all that stuff through, so they did put hoses and a clamp on this side. You just pull them apart, pull the passover through, and work the filler neck out. So yeah, that's all out of the car. Don't mind that. We are finishing up for the day. We are going to be headed to the gym. So gas tank, all that stuff is all done, all taken care of. We are going to be cutting pretty much everything inside of each frame rail all the way to the back of the diff mount, and this spare tire out. Radiator is going to sit in here like that. There's going to be a duct that brings the air this way, and then the fuel cell is going to be as far back as we can get it. We pulled everything down and made a plan for things, how it's going to fit, how it's going to work, whatever. And then we're going to try and squeeze in the water pump underneath somewhere in that vicinity. All the fuel lines are going to run on this side of the car. The coolant lines are going to run on this side of the car. We still have to make a firewall. Yeah, progress has been made, slow but surely. It's a lot of figuring out and a lot of learning and trying to figure out where things are going to go, what's not going to work, you know. Build a car in your head before you actually touch a bolt. So
it's crazy how time consuming and how expensive all these little stupid little things get, you know.
Yeah, they'll take
like the brackets just to mount those 4 things. It's like a solid day's worth of work.
Yep.
To make that happen, you know?
To figure it out, to make it, to put it on the car.
I mean, I spent the last hour drawing a sketch that nobody would understand but me.
I'm working on getting the front bumper of Kyle's car put on. We're going to be using some quick disconnects. There's just these little quick pins that push in and release if you press the button. So we're going to be installing 4 of those on this front bumper. I'm going to have one just about there, one just about there, and then I'll probably need one on each side of the bumper. But all in all, it shouldn't be that hard. Things lined up pretty easily. So I'm gonna start drilling some holes and get the bumper mounted. And Kyle is cleaning his interior right now because
this is disgusting.
Yeah, that's disgusting. That's from the parts car way down there.
This is
gross. So this is gross. But he's working on getting all of his interior put back together, slash, you know, all the shit he needs to be able to drive.
Yeah,
so,
I'm probably gonna start running wiring before I do this, honestly.
Yeah, that'd probably be smart.
Yeah, because I don't really know where everything goes, you know.
Kyle doesn't know where anything goes.
Yeah, no, I said that like I might, that like I might have, you know, but I don't have any idea. Those are the 2 most important ones, so I got those.
Fuel pump.
Yeah, and fuel pressure, fuel level.
Yeah.
That's so like the other ones, I found the tail light wiring, which is right there.
Nice.
The rest of it, I don't really need it, you know. It drove on the trailer without any of it hooked up.
Yeah. So that's all that really matters. So he's got this spaghetti to fucking deal with. There's plenty of it. There's a whole bunch more on that side that runs all the way outside of the car. So he's on that, and I'm on front bumper. We got everything figured out on this front bumper here, and how we're gonna mount it. I'm gonna throw some rib nuts in here, and then the stud will come directly out from the pin. On the back side of here, we got the panels notched and cleaned up to where quick releases fit in perfectly. And then I have the outside ones to do once the bumper is mounted in the center. But for now, I think I'm gonna try and get the hood on the car, depending on Kyle has the hinges and the shit that I need for it. I'm gonna try and fit the hood and see how it looks, or see what we need to cut, if we need to cut anything. I'm assuming we will because of the turbo, but it'll be real close, so hopefully we won't have to, but we'll be the first to know, I guess. Kyle's doing a great job in here, ripping apart some wiring.
AEM, baby.
Getting his dash all wired up, getting everything in. Fixing his fan wires, question mark?
This is the fan wire. This was a track fix.
Fixing the fan wire before you put that in there, question mark?
Well, I want to put this thing in there, the switch in, but yeah, I'll fix this.
Okay.
I promise.
Okay. Heard that, guys. He said he promised, so he's got to do it now. So I'm going to try and fit the hood on here and see how it works. We got a couple of things on today. We got the bumper situated, figured out what we're going to do. We also got the hood up. It's all on, it's all aligned. Looks good. The turbo does hit the hood a little bit, so I'm going to make him a little divot in the hood with my body hammers to make it clear, but not have a hole in the hood. I just started working on some of the wiring here. Kyle's car was just kind of tucked all down in here, but we're gonna bring it up here, tuck it behind the headlight, and then ran the rest of the harness to over here. Kyle's been digging on some electrical over here. We pulled everything out of a little hole that's down there in the corner, and we're gonna be running it through this ECU tray. So much space in there, so right here on the back of the dash, that's the back of that ECU tray. So we're gonna blow a hole right in the center there and have really easy access in and out of the engine bay slash interior, and it all will stay clean, all behind the connectors and all that stuff. So yeah, he's been doing a good job. We got a lot of the shit mounted. He's got pretty much the entire passenger side of the car all squared up. All these wires are put away. Obviously all this stuff is for the gauges, that's what he's working on right now, but he's still got the harness that goes to the back of the car to do. But yeah, we made good progress. Oh, we also cut out all this. This was
Not my doing.
yeah, not our doing, but this was in the car. This is the stereo harness. There's 2 sets of butt connectors in here.
About that though, because I shoved them between the heater cores, like
in the middle.
in the middle, yeah, and I just saw one wire sticking out, and I was like, wait a minute.
Pulled that rat mess out. So, yeah, that's it. That's pretty much gonna be it for today. We're all headed to the gym, so
Pretty happy with the progress.
very happy with the progress. Car looks really good. All right, good morning, everyone. Don't mind my hair, but we are back at Kyle's house, and we are trying to get the BMW together. So I got the front 2 clips on the bumper mounted, so everything's in there now, not moving. I got the jack under this side. I'm gonna line up this corner. It's gonna sit just about there, equal body gap everywhere, and I'm gonna put one more pin right here and go do the same thing on the other side. His hydro mount all bolted up today, so he's going to mount up his hydro itself and connects all the brake lines eventually. He got the center console all cleaned up and ready to I think he's got to trim it, looks like.
Yeah.
I see some Sharpie, so Sharpie normally means we're cutting shit. All right, the bumper is all mounted. Boom. Up on its own weight. Everything's pretty even. Perfect amount of movement in it. Don't want it too tight so it can still deflect some tires, but you can kick that fucker and it's not gonna fall off. On to making the hood fit. So when I close the hood, it touches the top of the turbo right here. So what I'm gonna do is, I marked right here where the center of the turbo is, where it's hitting up here. And then I just kind of eyeballed where the other ends are. And I'm gonna work this in with my curved anvil here. I'm gonna use this top section and then use my body hammer. I have some other assortments of stuff if I need to switch it up, but I think that's what I'm gonna use for most of it. And I'm going to go ahead and start making this section bump out. So you'll see it up here actually bump, because normally when you have a fitment issue with a turbo or something, you can cut this under panel out, but it's right on the hood skin and he doesn't want a hole in the hood. So we are gonna make a little bump. We're gonna see the best we can make this. We also have the hood vent to put on later, so I'm sure more of this will get cut, but for now I just need to make it sit flush and be able to fit over the turbo. So I'm gonna start hammering and see how it goes. All right, the hood fits. Got the reveal here to be even all the way through, and then was able to achieve that small bump in the hood there. I don't know if you guys can see it, I'm touching the top of the hood, but there's a lump there that I made. I gotta clean it up to make sure it's flat and you don't see any of the waves in the metal. Seeing the reflections here, you can see the waves. So I got to clean it up with the anvil and make sure it's smooth, but took care of that. I have to fix 2 dents on the hood. There's one here, and then there's this big one back here, big kink in the vent, but that shouldn't be too hard to fix. So yeah, everything's good, looks good. How does it look?
Burrito's pretty good.
How does it look?
Good.
Excited?
How many times did you have to slam the hood down to get it to fit?
3 times.
I heard
really hard.
Dude, that shit looks so cool. It's way better than a hole.
Oh yeah.
A hole would have been heavy.
Yeah. Kyle's ripping down some breakfast. Lunch, I guess. It's 1 o'clock.
I was cereal this morning.
So yeah, it's lunch. He had breakfast. Wasn't the most hearty breakfasts, but that's okay. Sometimes cereal is important. He got the center console section all mounted up, and then he also got that cutout and mounted up his pieces up there for the center console. Eventually he wants to redo this cut. He would have done it differently, but it's whatever for now. He fucked it up, he said. So me and Kyle have been moving along with the E36 here. I got this dent here taken away. There's a little bit of bumps, but it's all right. It's a drift car at the end of the day. So I'm working on smoothing out this one here, so the front's getting better, but the back still haven't touched yet. So gotta keep going on that. Kyle got the skirts lined up on the car, but we got to do a couple of things up here still. We got to move this headlight over and put a bolt here on the, down here on this tube front, and same thing on the other side. And then we have to put a screw back in the bottom of this fender to suck it against the car. Oh yeah, Kyle got all this in too. Oh, the wiring all the way to the back. It looks fucking wild right now, but it's really not that bad.
It doesn't look any less crazy.
Yeah.
It makes more sense now.
It's all just ran out, so we know where everything goes now.
Wait on P clamps.
Yeah.
Wait on P clamps and electrical tape.
So once P clamps and some electrical tape get here, he can do all that stuff. But yeah, for now we're just gonna keep ticking along on the little things and checking shit off the list. I think that's it. We're done for the day. We're gonna head to the gym, so yeah, we'll keep going later. What are you laughing at? High as shit.